Hello, hello. Mic testing. Hello. So I'm gonna test my sound. Okay. So it's working for me. So this is my first stream of the years. Obviously, I'm not expecting many people to watch because I am not getting enough views for past few months, and I understand I'm not regular. I'm trying to be regular, and I'm trying to work more in this field because yeah, with AI and all sorts of stuff, it's just really hectic. And if you're new here, welcome. I do have this how do you call this poll in my community. If you are an artist, just go to my community and please share your opinion with this topic with AI and all. I appreciate a lot if you guys do that, because right now I just have three votes. And the thing is, the last option that I have other opinion, and I'd like to elaborate it in the comment section. Someone selected that, but nobody elaborated anything in the comment section. That one comment you see, that's from me. I just added some taglines, how do you call it, hashtags in there, but that's it. So I would really appreciate um, if you guys share your opinion about it. And another thing is, I'm already apologizing to you all, whoever is going to come or not come, um, for the background noise. Like, the background noise is really bad today. And oh, hey, Tegala, no, I just started. And I was just talking about this uh, poll I was conducting in my community section, where artists could talk about AI or just choose an option. So if you haven't voted, just go to my community section and do that if you have time. And I was also apologizing for the background sound, all the noise. Anyways, so let's yeah. So how are you? Oh, and one more thing. I just remember so many things together that I forgot to wish all of you a very happy new year. I hope you, oh my god, the noise. I hope you are having a good new year so far, and I wish you guys have a very good year this year. Even though the start wasn't that great with earthquakes in Japan and all the other stuff, um, I really hope they got out of their danger. And I don't want to go to the political side, but I do hope the conflict in between Palestine and Israel gets solved. Like, I know some people get offended even at the you know even when they hear the word Palestine, but yeah, I just want things to go back. uh, I would have said the things to go back the way it was, but we are not. We as human beings, we are not doing good for a really long time. So I just want everybody to have peace. Yeah, happy New Year, Navtej. Uh, so how was your New Year? Like, for me, what did I do? I didn't do much. Um, yeah, I cooked some good food, ate with my relatives, and all that. So, yeah, generally during winter, I become super lazy. But because it's really comfortable during winter, so yeah. So this particular painting that I'm painting, I don't know why I didn't talk about it, but this particular painting I did for someone as a pitch, like they were pitching their stories. So they asked me to do a particular scene from the story, so that's what I did. Mm, and while doing this painting, I realized I'm horrible at drawing human beings. But yeah, I tried my best. The story is pretty interesting, I must say. Mm, this is kind of a horror artwork, not horror, yeah, mysterious horror kind of artwork, I would say. So it's a bit different from generally what I do. It's not that happy and bright, it's quite dark, and I know it's weird to start the year with such a artwork, but I believe if you start with something like this, then your year will go better afterwards. Like, it's kind of opposite psychology, like not reverse psychology, but it's just, I'm just blabbering. But yeah, I mean, I like the story. It was a science fiction story, and this particular scene is kind of, for me, I cannot spoil because I don't even know the person I worked for. um, they got their copyright, official copyright from the office or not, or they had a publisher or not. I have no idea about that. I mean, I don't know the future of the story, will they publish it or not, but I just worked on this painting just to give them something to visualize, and they can pitch their idea better to the publisher and other media. I don't know what they are going to do with it exactly. So yeah. No, this is this one I painted on my Android tablet. So no, I don't use stylus, and I don't have any stylus that is compatible with Android devices. I should have bought one, but I can paint with my fingers, so I don't need a stylus. So I mean, is it takes a bit time, I think, painting with finger, but I'm quite comfortable in painting with fingers. So stylus is not something that I need. I mean, it was initially, I was like, how am I going to paint with my finger? Like, I have to hold something like a pencil or a pen, because that's what I used to do when I used to paint. Did my digital painting in using computer. In computer, initially I used mouse to paint. Then I bought a stylus, not stylus, graphic tablet. Um, and I was quite, I mean, obviously graphic tablet is much easier than using mouse, but then I moved to Android tablet because it's really convenient. So I started with finger because my original Android tablet was really cheap and really bad. So nothing would work with that tablet probably. And so it became kind of easier. It became easier for me, and then I was like, I don't need a stylus. I did buy a stylus to check if things make easier, but no. The problem is the stylus you get, the universal stylus that you get in the market, they are not really touch sensitive. Like, you were trying to draw a line, and it's a bit either slower or probably not getting the exact touch all the time. You have much more control on your own finger than that, to be honest. I mean, you have to practice painting with finger, but you you will have more control um, of your own finger than a stylus. But I think those S Pen, those are good for Android, and obviously Apple, they have their own stylus. So I don't know how that feels. Like, I've never done that. I've never used stylus like S Pen or Apple and all that. So probably those are good. Who knows? Another thing is that generally I prefer to paint without outline, without clear. Um, it's called outline, right? It's, oh my god, I'm sorry for the background noise. So because I generally this is the habit I developed, so that I don't want to draw with outline, because one of the main reason was I started off my first digital work in Photoshop CS5. So back then they did not have stabilizer. I don't remember having stabilizer. uh, if you're drawing something like outline or something, you it is extremely difficult to make it smooth. So what I did was like, okay, so I have problem with that, so I won't add an outline. I just paint with color and then blend them. So whenever I want to buy a cheap stylus, it's too flat and broad. I need kind of, yeah, that's the problem with universal styluses. Styluses, I don't know what's the plural of stylus. Yeah, it's a problem with stylus, because um, they're not only the flat end is a problem, but also they don't, there's a disconnection between the stylus and the uh, tablet. you know there's It's not precise. That's what I was going to say. It's not precise when you're trying to draw. And sometimes I bought one, and I noticed that sometimes that you want to draw a straight line or curve, whatever, like a continuous line, and it breaks. It feels like you're using a broken pen, that or a pen with a very little ink in it. It feels really bad. So I would suggest you, if you're having trouble with stylus and you don't want to spend or you I mean, yeah, it's not advisable to spend a lot of money to immediately buy pricey Samsung tablet for S Pen or Apple. What were they called? Apple's iPad, right? I would not recommend that. So initially, you should try a cheaper tablet, and finger is good. You can use your uh, pointy finger. I'm having trouble remembering names. Um, See, the thing is that even if your finger is thick, the thickness of your finger is only the problem your finger will give. The only problem your finger will give is that you won't be able to see some part. Otherwise, the thickness or thinness of the line, it doesn't depend on your finger. It depends on the thickness or thinness of the brush. So you can choose a, let's say, 2 pixel brush, and you can draw a very thin line with your finger, because your finger won't make it thicker. You see, it's the brush's thickness that matters. Yes, but the problem is when you're drawing something really detailed, your finger, since our fingers are not transparent, you cannot see a certain part. So for that, I would suggest that you should zoom in, like zoom as much as possible when you are detailing something. And another thing I learned, that if you zoom in a particular area, you don't need high level of stabilizer, like stabilizing the brush. Like zooming in helps you to stabilize your drawing. Like, I think it's a psychological thing. I don't know why it happens, but when I zoom in to draw something, it just works. Like lines become much more stable and crispier. You do the outline first, then you paint, right? So first thing you would do, draw a sketch, a very rough sketch, like extremely rough, and you draw it like nobody is watching. So that's what I do. I just first draw a very bad rough sketch. I am planning to do another live stream maybe next week, where I will show how I did an animation video. It's a full scene, but then I animated certain parts of the scene. So I when I started to draw the main character, the sketch was horrible. Like, it looked more like a crab than a human. So you have to refine that first. When you create the sketch, it would look bad, then you reduce its opacity, and then draw another. If you're not confident enough, draw another sketch which would be a bit better, because you already have a guide from the first sketch, and then draw another. Generally for me, when I am drawing some position, human position, not nature is kind of easier than drawing human beings. So when you're drawing a human being, generally what I do, I just draw some basic sketch of that human, extremely basic sketch, and like without face, that is, like just a egg forehead, and then two lines just crisscrossing their face, because I need to position their eyes and nose and lips and all that. uh, then their body, probably like a lot of people use square or a lot of people use round, depend on what kind of human you're painting. Just use certain shape. That's why you need to start sketching with basic shapes. If you're drawing a human or anything for that matter, first you need to understand what is the basic shape of that object, or whatever you're drawing. What would be the theme of that drawing? That theme will depend, what I'm trying to say is, the theme is dependent on the shape of those objects, color scheme of those objects, and then comes textures and perspective and all the other stuff. So if you're sketching with your hand, like without any stylus or pen shape anything, uh, first thing you should do is just draw basic shapes. To let's say you're drawing a cat, what will you do? First draw a round, a circle, then draw to rectangle shape near the ears, draw another bigger elliptical shape for body, then depending on how the legs will be, hind legs and front legs, draw cylinder and round or ellipse for the shapes, then the tail. So when the moment you put down the basic shapes, completely basic shapes, and then you reduce the opacity of the layer, and then you change the layer, like you start a new layer, and then you can like add details to that basic shape, you know. I thought like it's kind of, it generally comes naturally when you like for me, uh, I was horrible at drawing with my fingers. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, I cannot draw with my finger. Is when I was transitioning from drawing on a tablet, graphic tablet, to drawing on an Android tablet with fingers. So it was difficult, but then I broke it down like this, like, okay, no, I first need to understand what the shapes are, and the moment you get to the shape, and then immediately the next layer will be automatically, it would be much better, it would look much better than the previous sketch shapes. And then you can add fur, like in case of the cat, you when you're using the basic shape as your guide, then when you are detailing, you can add far slowly, and then you can position eyes and nose, like that also you need to scale before you do your final sketching, final outlining rather. So while you're sketching, I would say just go bananas with it. Like sketching is something that nobody will see, so you can do it however you want. You don't think like, oh my god, everyone will see everything. No, generally, even my painting, this is okay, this is something I did, just the painting version, so I didn't sketch anything. But yeah, I mean, even this one also, I had like bunch of references, and I kind of studied the roots and the trees and how they like um, go around and what's their nature, and then I painted. So a lot of people think, okay, so if I feel like painting something, I'll just draw it. It generally, it doesn't happen like that. You kind of have to give time and patience. um, and then generally, if you want to, that's why a lot of artists like to study still life. I mean, this is kind of part of it. I just skip it most of the time because I'm extremely lazy. But I would suggest anyone who wants to paint or draw or something, observe natural life, observe people, observe your surroundings and everything. And when you want to paint something, first you need to think what you want to paint, then you need to find references. If you're not going out, or if you live in a place where, let's say you live in a big city and you don't have immediate access to ocean, but you want to paint a ocean, what will you do? uh, Go online and search for ocean images. And because there's so much AI generated CRAP, a fudgy thing, I really don't want to use cuss word, but AI generated stuffs are so bad, and there is flooding the internet. I would suggest you try to avoid AI generated artwork, because it will kind of harm your skills rather than improve it, because their anatomy is all over the place. Their uh, style is not good. So if you are trying to find a reference, I would suggest you to try to get actual photography. Don't copy the photography, because then there's a copyright issue. I don't know exactly. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what kind of copyrights infringement one might have if you just copy paste the painting, but or other artist work. So rather than doing that, just use the photographs as example, um, as reference. And you can photo bash a bunch of paintings, a bunch of photographs, and find a way. Like, I actually had a video where I talked in detail that how you can paint environments or other stuff, and how you can get inspiration from different painting and all that. Always observe and study those things. And then when you have a clear idea of what you want to draw, start with sketch, and then slowly move to refining that way. It's kind of like a sculpting, but sculpting is I think much more difficult, at least for me. But it starts with a blob basically, and then you sculpt away the flaws, and then you create something out of that blob, you know so yeah, I know it's a weird analogy, but I don't know how to say it. So yeah, this is yeah, I know this painting is a bit dark, and a lot of people will go like, huh, what is this painting, what's happening? It's roots. It's a bunch of deadly roots. They are kind of, all I can say, they're man eating roots, human eating roots, or human killing roots. So it's from a story, science fiction story. So yeah, I actually do traditional painting. Like, I have, if you see in my gallery, I have watercolor painting. Uh, I didn't do oil pastel for YouTube, by the way, but I did it for myself. I used to do oil pastel, but for traditional painting I mainly prefer watercolor, because I love watercolor. I don't know, I just love it. So yeah, I think I want to do more watercolor, but only problem is like, if I start painting somewhere, I need to keep it that way. I cannot just paint, then while taking break I have to arrange them in a box and then go away and then paint again. I cannot do that. I have to sit at one place and paint, and then when I'm taking break I have to keep it that way wherever it is, and then come back and paint again. But that doesn't happen, so I am trying to make a space for watercolor painting, because I cannot say enough good thing about watercolor. It's so relaxing, and it's really great. I have no words for watercolor. It's just magical. I have been trying acrylic as well, but I did not like acrylic as much, to be honest. It's not. It's not like I hate it, but it's exactly opposite. The method of painting in acrylic is opposite to watercolor. So that's kind of a bit of a problem for me, because in watercolor you have a particular type of mindset, and then you change to acrylic and you have to change how you paint, the method. And another problem with acrylic is it dries really fast, and I cannot paint that fast. I'm like, I just put a stroke on a canvas and think for like 5 minutes what to do next. So I'm really slow when I paint. So that's the problem. Otherwise, color pencil, I actually I'm working on a coloring book for people to get, and I myself have a copy of that coloring book, and I think I'll try coloring them with color pencil, because I haven't done that for a really long time, and those designs are my own design. So it would be fun if I try, but I have coloring pencil? I have to see if I have them. I used to have them, by the way, because I often used Faber Castell with watercolor. Faber Castell is water soluble pencil, so it's easier for me to use them while having watercolor drawing. So I used to have them. I have to check. Uh, do you paint with? Do you draw with color pencil or oil pastel? If you do, like, what kind of drawing you do? So this is the phase where I realize that I cannot draw human being from mind. Like, I was trying to draw these two human characters from the story from my mind, and I realized no, I need reference. This is the part where I'm struggling to draw them, and it was a struggle, really. Oh, oil pastel. Oil pastel is really good. Do you use a soft pastel or hard pastel? Oh, I do. I have used chalk pastel. They are amazing, by the way. Black pencil. Oh, charcoal is good. Yeah, I used to sketch with dark pencils and charcoals, but haven't done that a long time. One thing is that I realized that apart from watercolor, other type of art, nowadays I don't have enough space for all the art I make, and I don't want to throw them away just because they're old. So that's why I tend to do more digital work, because you don't have to throw away digital art. They don't take a lot of space. But other than that, when it comes to traditional art, I prefer watercolor or acrylic, because watercolor is literal therapy. I'm not joking. Like, if you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling bored, or if you're feeling like, oh no, I don't, it's just life is meaningless and all that, just do watercolor. I'm not saying it will solve your problems, but it does it does have a property of calming people down. I'm just saying. So yeah, this is still me struggling to draw the characters, and yeah, I, I did not use references at this point, and then later on I used references because I gave up. I realized cannot draw human beings from mind. Like, I'm not that strong. I mean, I could draw, but something happened. I don't know why. I just, it became a bit cartoony. I mean, they look like humans, but they look cartoony. They did not go well with the background painting. So I was like, no. Yeah, because it's so dark. The characters are not supposed to be seen clearly. Like, yeah, it's so dark. Yeah, they're not supposed to be seen clearly. Okay, hold on, let me see. Yeah, they're supposed to be in the dark. One of the main reason is because I'm horrible at painting, I mean drawing these characters, but then again also because since it was part of a you know, pitching, how do you call it, pitching to publish a part of a story, the person, how do you call it, my client, should I call them my client, yeah, they just wanted me to draw the character vaguely and in the dark so that I do not decide, or at this point of time we do not decide how the characters exactly look like. And also that's why I drew them from the back, so that I don't have to worry about the faces or all that, or how they look like. So yeah, they look like cartoon characters, to be honest. Oh, anyway, but then I changed it. I used references and blah blah blah. Well, this it's not an artwork idea. It's part of a story. I think I mentioned it before you came. Probably you came to the how do you my brain is freezing seeing these characters. Before you, I think you joined the chat. I talked about the origin of this painting. It is part of a story, science fiction story. Someone asked me to paint this scene, particular scene from the story, is because they wanted to use it as a pitch for their story. I don't know who are they going to pitch, the publishers or the producers. Like, do they want to make it a series or do they want to make it a story? I have no idea. They just asked me to paint this particular scene. We actually talked about painting multiple scenes, but they just said no, okay, first paint this scene and see the reaction. And I was like, okay, but this is such a dark and kind of uh, if someone first sees this image, they will feel uncomfortable, right? Like, you're not giving them the best option. But they said no, this is kind of this is the part of the story where the entire story arc change, or how do you call it, um, the plot twist of the story, or the things, the story changed to another direction and things started happening really fast from this point on in the story. So they just wanted this part to be painted, and I was like, okay. And now probably they were busy with all the other stuff, so I will be painting more scenes from those stories. No, if you've noticed from the beginning, I just started putting grays on the canvas. Like, the background was gray, and on top I added darker gray, and then I made this all these roots and branches and all that. But initially I did look at bunch of how do you call it, bunch of references. Like I was googling how the roots look like, how the big banyan trees look like, or how really old big trees with lots of roots look like. So after watching like I don't know, like 1,000 images, when you start looking at a particular type of image and you want to draw, you'll just like you continuously look at that and you'll be like, oh, okay, so this is the basic shape of the that object, and I can paint it like this, and then you just draw it. No. This scene is not, this is from a story that is written. There's no image in that story. That is, someone wrote the story and they wanted me to paint this scene so that a particular scene can be visualized. Like when they are going to pitch the story to the publisher or someone, yeah, the story was the idea. It was a scene from that story. Scene in the sense, it's a written story. It was something happening in that particular time in that story, and they asked me to paint this particular thing that was happening in the story. So that's what I did. It's like they found a particular place. Yeah, imagination in the sense, I, as a reference, I had the story because the person gave me the story, so I know what was happening in the story. And obviously the person who wrote the story, they had all the details, like it will be super dark and very mysterious and all these branches and roots coming out and all that. So I read that, and then I googled lots of images, and then I paint whatever I thought that time it would look like that scene would look like. Like you have to imagine the scene, of course, but I had help. Like first of all, the description was help, good help. Second of all, as I said, like I was googling all how the trees look like, big trees, even though I have seen a lot of big trees, but before I wanted to paint them specifically, I wanted to just observe how the trees look like. So that's that. When I was painting, that helped me. While I was painting. And as for the background part, that also just came naturally while I was painting. When you start painting something, it's not like a formula, when you're painting. So when you're painting, it will automatically come to you as a flow. Like you'll be like, okay, so I made this big pile of roots and all that, so the background will be a bit rocky with a lot of roots, and this little plant thing on the roots, these are alien stuff. Or oh, I just spilled the spoiler. Anyways, so yeah, these are like kind of not earthy stuff. These are how should I put it, alien stuff. Yeah, alien plant, you can say. So I had to also think how an alien plant look uh, when it is mixed with earthly plant, or vegetation, not plant, this is a huge tree, so earthly vegetation. So it came a very how should I put it, like uncomfortable. Like the flow breaks with the here the image in itself has a flow, like dark, and there's a torchlight, and then there's dark, and it kind of blends into the darkness. But the light from the alien plant kind of break that flow. So that was kind of uncomfortable for me, but the story goes like that, so what can I do? So these are the sketches I did for the actual human being rather than my cartoony characters. So yeah, I did sketch them separately. the male character and the female character, and then I brought it into this image so that I can color them accordingly. The reason drew them separately is because I was having huge trouble with this background drawing them, and also because back then I did not use any reference, but here I actually use reference of two people, so that was easier. That's why I think people should use reference, like people should use a reference to draw their stuff. I often get lazy and don't use reference, but yeah, people should use reference. Ooh. Ew. So if someone hears me talking to myself, they're like, what is she doing? Yeah. Almost done. My painting is almost done, and I'm so happy that my first what is this thing called, streaming, oh my god. My streaming is also almost. I think I should paint something more interesting. I've been working on some animation and stuff. If people are interested, then that's great. Huh. It's really, really painful to talk for such a long time. Also, there's so much background noise, so much background noises. I'm so sorry for the background noise, and since like nobody is watching, probably, I should ask you to vote on this thing in my community that I posted, because I really want to talk about it with other artists or new artists. Like someone literally voted that Gen AI is discouraging for new artists. So I want to know what they think. So please vote if you can, and I want to have a proper chat about it. Sometimes the work is so detailed that you feel like nothing is happening, but it is happening. Yeah. Almost. Yeah. Now I'm detailing the characters, so probably it seems like I'm not doing anything or the screen is just not moving, but that's not the case. And that's kind of frustrating when you record a painting, because um, you are doing a lot of things, but it's not getting, the effort is not getting captured properly, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm trying to change her top color because, excuse me, she's wearing a jeans jacket, probably, and I don't want her long top to be same color as the jeans jacket. Okay, now I think I'm hungry. I've been talking non-stop for 50 minutes. That's a long, long time. I don't do that. Like, I think I've done talking for the week because I generally don't talk that much in real life. So, talking non-stop for 50 minutes. Oh my god, no, no. My only viewer has left, I think. So, yeah. Yeah. Oops, what did I do? However, I think it's better than posting a video. Like, live stream is better for me because I don't have to worry about background noises. I mean, there will be background noises, and I can keep on apologizing for the noises, but I can keep the noises as well. Otherwise, if I want to record a video, I can't. I can't. I If I don't move to a place that is kind of quieter around my house, I cannot do this, like record a video or something. So, yeah, I can cut what? Oh, this is interesting. I can cut a part of my live stream. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, there is a clip option. Oh my god. That's nice. But I haven't said anything of importance to make a clip out of it. So, yeah. I used lots of and ahs, which I don't like. So, probably it's better not to have a clip. Okay, so this is basically the painting. I'm trying to add some environment coloring and lots of fog because I want to cover up the main characters with fog. Also, I think in this case, the fog can be used as, you know, not just mystery but also the distance. It can give the illusion of distance and environment. Another thing is I used a bit of a reddish color for the fog and violet-ish color because that will kind of contrast with the green and yellow that I have given so much into the painting. So, okay. So my final edited painting is this one. Yeah. Let me. Can I not? Huh. Oh, here it is. So I had to add some sharpness and all that for it to look better. Also, the little pores that coming out of alien plants, that also came much clearer in this version rather than the more blurry version. So, yeah, I hope you like this painting, and I will have other stream and probably some of the animation stream. Like, I made a holiday special animation video. If you haven't watched it, It's just a short, animated short. So, oh, no problem. Power cut. Oh, okay, no problem. I will have more. What is this? I will have more streaming in the future. Don't worry. And this is just one painting. I will have more painting and drawing. I just hope things are okay over there now. Power cut is, yeah. So yeah, I will have. I have actually. I've made an animation video, so probably I'll have that next week, and um, I'm working on another animation video. So yeah, there will be a bunch of animation videos. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the compliment of my artwork. And if you guys like my videos, then do drop a like, because the more interaction I'll get, the more views I'll get. Nowadays YouTube just don't give us artists any view. I follow a bunch of artists, they don't get views much. So um eh, despite of having like few 100,000 followers or a million followers, I don't know what's happening. Like some people are not getting views, and some people are getting a lot of views. I don't know how YouTube algorithm work, but all I know, the more people interact with this video, the more this video will reach to other people. So please like my video, so that I can have more chat buddies. I don't know, and I can talk about art and animation a lot. Another thing is, I really want to know what other artists think about AI. So I want to make a separate chat just to talk about AI, separate stream. So if you guys are interested, just please subscribe and like my videos, and you can follow me on Twitter, because I mean, if you understand AI is a problem and you are an artist, because I tweet a lot about AI, how AI is harming artists. So if you're into that kind of thing, and if you want to keep up with the latest news on how artists, especially digital artists, are affected by AI, or what is happening legally in the field of AI, and how artists are protecting themselves, etc., etc., you can follow me on Twitter. Yep. If you want to know my Twitter, is at Jashin3. And I have Instagram and other coffee and all that, but the main things I talk about with art and AI and all that is on Twitter. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will come again probably next week if all things go well, if there's no meteorite heading towards Earth, if there's no natural calamity or war or power cut on my end, or internet cut on my end, or something horrible happen. Other than that, if everything is fine, I'll come next week with another live stream. So enjoy your winter, enjoy your, I don't know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're doing, and I hope to see you next week. See ya. Bye.